Hello guys, welcome to Thermomixing Adventures. Lisa here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hey look, I thought I'd show you one of my kids' most favourite snacks that I make, and it's actually, I love it because it's got veggies in it. So right, as a mum, anything I can do to put veggies into food, happy days. Now this does have sweet potato and carrots, and looking forward to showing you that now. I'm just going to indicate to one of my children to go away because otherwise it's distracting. So sorry about that. Say hi if you're watching on today. Let's get started on this recipe. It is in ounces, so it is a US recipe. I really do like some of their snacks. As much as you've got to swap around some ingredients, you'll see there's some things I'm going to do today. I'm swapping and substituting. I do like them. You'll see there's quite a few on the list that are from there. If you can't find them because your filters aren't quite right, let me know and I'll help you. Let's get started. It's called sweet potato oatmeal bars. First things first, preheat your oven and then obviously line a tray. We'll cover that at the end. We're going to place 5 ounces of sweet potatoes. Now it does say peeled and diced. Mine are not peeled, mine are just cut in chunks and I've left the skin on. I've washed them though, okay? Don't need some dirt in there. Then it says to add some sugar. Now it did say diced, by the way. I'm going to cut them down in a minute in the Thermi, so I'll do that shortly. So 1 ounce of coconut sugar. I'm just using raw sugar, okay? And 1 ounce, which is about 30 grams. So those watching on for the first time today, you might be a bit confused by this ounces business. Because it's a US recipe, it's in ounces. I'm going to cut that all short so it's not so sweet. So that's why it's in ounces, but it's pretty easy. On the Thermomix, you can see we match it up. If you're shopping, it's a little bit more complicated. Google and ask what the grams equivalent is, or just multiply by 3 and add a 0. So 1 ounce multiplied by 3 is 3 and add a 0, 30, right? So there you go. Hey Annette, lovely to have you on today. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, now we've got some spices, of course, and we've got some beautiful cinnamon. We've got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Has anyone watching on made this before? Some of you guys were involved in previous cook-alongs I've done, and I have introduced you to this recipe in cook-alongs because it is such a great recipe, and often we don't make it because 1, it's in ounces, 2, it's got oatmeal in the title, and for a lot of people, what's oatmeal? This is half a teaspoon of salt, by the way. So, you know, often some of those things are kind of reasons, or even that coconut sugar, right? Do you have coconut sugar? Yes or no? So that might stop you making it. So I want to show you how easy it is to actually make it regardless. Okay, nutmeg, 1/8. It's a teeny tiniest bit of nutmeg. And then similarly with our cloves, by the way, I've skipped the cloves previously. It works perfectly fine. So if cloves are not in your repertoire of things you've got in your cupboard, skip it out, perfectly fine, okay? So next up, we've got on with the lid. Now let me see, it's got a 3 seconds speed 6, so it's going to dice that down beautifully. So I'm glad I didn't dice it any smaller and waste my time doing that. Speed 6. Next up, we're going to scrape down the sides, and then it's going to actually cook off and soften that for 5 minutes. Now, I'm actually going to skip that step today just for the sake of time for you guys, okay? I don't want to be here longer than you guys want me to be. So ordinarily, you would cook it off. Now, if you are cooking along on a TM5 or a 31 and you don't have Cookie Doo guided recipes, this is 100 degrees. You could put it on 110. If I was a 31, I'd put it on 110 only because yours heats up a little bit slower, okay? So that was, for those of you cooking along later, 5 minutes, 212 Fahrenheit, so 100 or 110 in our other machines, and then on speed 0.5, not 1.5. I'm sure it'll be okay on mine as well. Okay, next up we've got 3 ounces of carrots. It does say peeled. You guys know that I don't do that. I chuck it in peel and all. So we'll keep going along, and then we've got some maple syrup. So this is where you could add whatever liquid sweetener you use. It's only 30 grams, it's only a little over a tablespoon, it's not a massive amount, but whatever you normally use. So if you would normally be using honey or maple, the maple was that honey, or I'm using rice malt, you could use golden syrup, they would all work as well. All right, next up, vanilla. Please make your own homemade vanilla when you get a chance. There's nothing better than making that and having it in the fridge. I actually need to scrape mine out a little bit. I'm getting to the crunchy bit in the bottom. It's just beautiful. Okay, next up, on with the lid again, and we're going to blitz this down. So 10 seconds, speed 8, get this nice and fine. sure you can, but that's pretty much done. Now, if you're in your kitchen, you're obviously putting your ingredients away, you know, washing your hands from getting the honey on it, you know, all that jazz. So you wouldn't need to stop it early. But if you want to stop it early, silver button is your selector to stop it. Okay, next up is some almond milk. Now, you might not have almond milk. Don't let that stop you making it. Just use cow's milk. Okay, or use oat milk or whatever your standard is. Or even, I just had that thought as I've literally opened this that I should be using my leftover whey out of my cheese making course. Okay, so I did some videos for that the other day with some customers, and I really probably should have used that. But anyway, hindsight, and it's in the up the other end of the house, so I won't be doing that. I am a little short on that, but that's okay. We'll just leave it with what I've got. So next up, we are moving on with the lid. We've got a 10-second blend, and this is nearly done. We've only got a handful of ingredients I don't know if you can hear, but I've got an excited puppy here. We've just had visitors turn up, hence the reason I'm making things, and she just wants out, but I closed the door to keep the kids out. So anyway, there's lots of excitement here. So I will get cracking on finishing this up and show you this recipe. By the way, I never top it with the chocolate, okay? I've never, ever done that. It is beautiful without it, okay? It is just amazing. It is, if you like rolled oats and you like mueslis and you like those sorts of things, that's what it's kind of, you'll love it. Okay, 12 ounces of rolled oats. It's a lot of rolled oats, okay? So in that goes, I did pre-weigh it, okay? I made sure I brought down the right amount. 3 ounces of pecans. I don't have pecans. I'd usually put walnuts. I would have had to have opened a big 5 kilo bag of new walnuts, so I didn't bother. Skip it out. It doesn't matter, okay? Don't stress over those small things. Sunflower seeds. I have those. I'm still using bought ones, but we've been growing some, and I'm so excited to be able to use our homegrown ones soon. I'm going to go a bit heavy because I'm going to make up for the pecan. So this year I'm really making an effort to share with you my thoughts behind why I substitute what I do and how I do. If you go over to Thermomixing Adventures, go to my blog. I uploaded that for you to download yesterday. But as well as that, you'll see some tips below on substitution and how I choose what I substitute and why. So when I'm doing this and these substitutions, if you're going, oh, I don't know that I know how to do that yet, go get some tips there. But my effort this year is actually going to be around putting that information in so that you understand why and how I can do what I do. And then why things don't work sometimes. Not very often, but occasionally. So anyway, 1 ounce of that, which I'm going to go a bit heavy because I'm making up for those pecans. I'll just put the whole lot in, shall I? So I have put like an extra 1.6. Baking powder, that is my binder. In that goes. And a rising agent, it gives it a bit of fluff, a bit of air into it. It's more of a fluff than a binder, to be honest. Next, on with the lid. I feel like I've missed a step. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was actually going to put in some pepitas to make up for the walnuts. Now on this blend step, I'm going to step aside and let my puppy dog out of the room because she's very excited and she's being very patient. This is the reverse. It is speed 3.5 for 15 seconds. I'll spin that up and give me 1 moment. Okay, so finishing off. Okay, so what you can also expect from me is real life, real kitchen stuff, okay? So you are going to see occasionally, hopefully not too often, the kids interrupt and having to let the dog out to see the visitors, and you're going to occasionally hear my gate slam and my doors and things like that because I'm doing this real life with you guys, all right? So I hope you will be patient and gracious with me in those occasions. So here we go, round this goes. And I really hope as well that, you know, really these inspire you to make more amazing food with your Thermomix, okay? If and gaining that confidence and those ideas. So now it literally says use your prepared pan, spread it around and you're good to go. All right, so it's going to then cook, make sure you got a smooth top, for 20 to 25 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, as I said with the US recipes, maybe that's a little bit daunting to know what are they asking for, 375 Fahrenheit. You know what, Google is your best friend. Google it, or I normally just kind of halve it approximately. So I probably put like 180 degrees. That's probably not half. My maths is terrible. You'll learn that this year too if you're new. but that's, generally speaking, it's pretty good. So that's about right. And if they say 400, I generally go about 200. So that's kind of how I work things out. So I'm going to slide this out into my pan. Yours may be slightly different textured because you cook down your sweet potato. Please take your time to do that. It does make a more caramelized. Think about like roast sweet potato. It's that beautiful flavor. So I'm going to spread this out. I think my puppy is still stuck inside the house while everybody else is out on the deck because I can still hear her whining. But I will love you and leave you. I will share this picture when I'm done. If you are missing the original of this, remember it all goes up on YouTube. It also all appears over on my website. Do head over to my website and subscribe. Easiest way to be kept up to date and also be kept in, as the first to know about what's coming each month for resources from me to you. So otherwise, and also it's also got like information over there about buying a Thermomix. So if you do have friends and family interested, but they're not at that stage where they want to talk to someone about it, then you can send them over there. When they click that buy button, it actually has payment options there. So they can go and just have a read and decide, is this something that I'm ready for? Is it something I need to plan for? So if they're at that point of wanting information, but not really wanting, they don't want to talk to someone yet. They're not wanting to be put in a position where, like I used to be, where I was like, don't talk me into buying one, okay? I'll never talk someone into buying a Thermomix anyway. People buy when it's the right time. And I am totally, that's how I run my demos and things like that. I'm here to empower you with what it is and does, and when it's your right time, I'm here to then make sure you get the very most out of it. So otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me today. I will see you probably later on today for some more cooking to inspire you to get more out of your Thermomix. So thanks for joining me. Check out the download on my website. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.